Well, here we are. We're in a jungle. Most of the kids that we run into in this area have some kind of severe problem. And the question is always asked, well, who's going to roll their sleeves up, get out here and go to work without money or monetary value being of any significance? Well, I figured I'll do that.
The 5 tenets go through my whole life, and that's courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. And all of those are incorporated in my life, and it actually helped me through a lot of stuff.
Some of these children come from broken homes of hurt, hatred, and poverty. But through the 5 tenets of Taekwondo, students who received D and F marks in school are now earning A's and B's. Respect is restored among classmates and teachers, and healthy bodies are learning new skills every day. Grandmaster Smith studied Taekwondo during his time in Korea while on standby for the Army in the Vietnam War. It was there that he earned his black belt from some of the greatest Taekwondo masters in the world. He returned stateside and started his own program in 1973. Which would eventually grow to become the Ready Taekwondo Academy.
I was called in 1999 by the then mayor of the city, Charles Yarborough, and asked to come up and develop a program for the youth. The city was in dire straits. They had absolutely nothing for the youth. I came up, started a Taekwondo program, more in the auspices of discipline, as well as developing some type of a recreation.
That's when the Benton Harbor-based nonprofit martial arts academy formed and decided to dedicate its practices to reclaiming, equipping, and directing youth. Students of the program learn to be productive citizens within their community.
When we are working and training together, somehow we're able to help with all of those situations. The discipline, camaraderie, accomplishing something, focusing on what you're doing. You're learning so many things that can help you within your life, so when you walk out of here, you feel better.
As a detective, I became more involved with the kids, and I noticed that a lot of them were starting to die just for nonsense, over a pair of shoes, or because they said something wrong to the wrong person, or they're walking down the wrong street at the wrong time of the day, and they're getting killed.
Back in high school, I was kind of bad at first. Without this program, I'd probably be in the wrong group, like in selling drugs and stuff like that.
Most of the kids around here that we deal with, the biggest thing that they lack is discipline and respect for themselves and others.
When we first started teaching Taekwondo, there was some concern as to how Taekwondo would impact on kids in the streets, and whether there'd be some very negative things that would come out of that. But we alerted them to several studies that had been done.
Studies developed through Chuck Norris's program Kickstart show that students who participate in martial arts programs get better grades, have higher attendance records, have greater self-control, and have a deeper self-confidence in their goals.
That in itself shows that we're able to have long-term effects on the training of Taekwondo.
Ready Taekwondo has proven its ability to turn trouble into tameness.
Show the kids what I call tough love. I mean, I'm hard with them, but I'm compassionate with them. I listen to their problems, and that's what they need, is someone that's going to be there to support them in what they're doing, and try to, slap them on the hand when they're doing something wrong, but still, turn around and put your arms around them and say, you're doing good, keep going.
Taekwondo has changed my life in different ways. It actually helped me control myself more than what I used to back in high school. Taekwondo went into the schools, in which I actually seen a tremendous improvement in how the kids act, and it actually helped them release more stress, have more fun, and build their character more.
I've noticed that a lot of the kids are showing a significant change than the ones that I worked with as a police officer, because now they're being educated on things to keep them from getting into trouble with the police, which is giving them more opportunities to succeed in life, versus, after they deal with the police, they already have a record, and then they're trying to fight, that record, prohibit them from moving on in life.
as a police officer in this community, a couple of actually kids that I had dealt with on the street, I brought down here to Grandmaster Smith. One of them was going to school, getting pretty much F's and D's and failing out of school. I brought them down here within a year. With the positive impact Grandmaster Smith has done with them, have gotten their grades up to A's and B's, honor roll student.
Grandmaster Smith collaborated with Benton Harbor area middle and elementary schools to integrate Taekwondo into the classrooms.
To say, what can we put together that would enable our students to gain some self-control that would carry over into the core areas of our school, the core academic areas?
And I simply say, how would you like to do Taekwondo? Of course, the eyes light up, the excitement is there. Well, what do I have to do? And of course, the first question is always, well, what does it cost? And my answer to them is that it will cost nothing more than a report card.
In order for Taekwondo students to move up to the next belt rank, they must have a signed report card from all of their school teachers as well as from their parents. One unsatisfactory grade can prevent a student from belt promotion.
That gives the teacher a lot of power and authority. Now all of a sudden the student feels that there's something more than just him or her involved in this. And we have had tremendous success. I could never walk away from something that works so well.
To bring in Taekwondo and the skills that were presented in the program and have them carry over into the core academic area, being math and reading, social studies and science.
Students are given the option to take Taekwondo from Grandmaster Smith for school credit in place of the traditional physical education class.
We've been successful in bringing students from D's, F's to A's, B's.
The Ready Taekwondo staff with the principals and teachers at participating schools reviewed all of their students' report cards and discovered that overall school grades improved 75%. Detentions, in-school fighting, and behavioral problems reduced 85%.
Some of the most important things that our program offers for the kids is that they have the opportunity to come someplace. Anytime we're open, they're welcome to come down and train and be around some positive activities versus being out in the streets or being stuck at home where there's no one monitoring what they're doing.
I think because of the video games, they sit around and they eat more than they should. And a lot of the schools don't have the physical fitness programs that they should. Well, that's why we entered the system and we've turned a lot of those students around also.
What's happening in this particular technological era, you see people are coming, cave people. They're living in caves called houses. They're living in caves called buildings. They go from one cave to another cave, not really outside playing as much as they used to.
Ready Taekwondo approaches exercise in a way that children understand.
The overweight adolescent may not want to hear someone ask them to diet, but that same individual would be very excited if we were to tell them that they could break boards at the end of a week, providing they followed certain dietary guidelines.
We have to make the diet fit the people and not the people fit the diet. But we have to look at the economic situation and what people are buying because they are restricted economically. So you can't ask an Eskimo to have steak in his diet. That's not going to work. You can't ask a Muslim to have pork in his diet. That's not going to work.
Through these types of incentives, we are able to make certain that this person would not only lose weight, but would take a very strong interest in their nutrition and all of the other areas as far as the growth of their life. Not to even mention the amount of the confidence and the self-defense and all of the other positives that that person would get.
What's fun about Taekwondo is that I get to make new friends and know people, and I'm not really scared to go to tournaments or anything.
Well, we get stronger and we get to get higher belts, and if somebody tries to hurt us, we can use those to help us.
When you walk out of here, you feel better about yourself. I see the children smiling and feeling better. They walked in maybe tired or sad or grumpy. They had a rough day at school, and then they walk out and they're smiling.
I told most of my friends that they need to actually come and join the program. The problems that they go through and the problems I go through is pretty much the same, and plus it actually releases my stress more. And you know, I tell them to come because it's very fun.
And what I love about it as well, it doesn't matter, you know, what color you are, what size you are.
It also doesn't matter what income a family has.
We're able to offer that adolescents, if they're from the Benton Harbor area, to be able to receive these things at absolutely no cost, so that money would not be a factor.
The organization reaches out to communities outside of Benton Harbor. Children from all over Southwest Michigan come to train alongside each other and improve many aspects of their lives.
So Ready Taekwondo wants to get them ready for the future, that you can step forward confidently. Once they see themselves accomplish where they may have thought they were a failure, but now they're more successful. And then when they learn these drills and practice these drills, it helps to improve the concentration. So those individuals who are having difficulty with school and ADD or ADHD are learning now to control themselves.
Each year, Ready Taekwondo gains popularity within the communities and hopes to expand into a new building.
We're now at a crossroads where we're really outgrown the building that we're in, so it is very necessary for us to move into another phase.
They hope the next phase will include a 20,000 square foot facility in conjunction with a Gold's Gym weight room, staffed with personal trainers and nutritionists.
We would be able to have a very holistic approach on a family. Still, our primary focus would be the at-risk youth here in the city.
Grandmaster Smith has been changing lives for years through his Ready Taekwondo program. Coming from impoverished backgrounds, children are acquiring new skills, learning respect, earning good grades, and improving their health. The stories of so many children have been rewritten for success.
One of the stories that really melts my heart, we had a student that totally flunked out of every class, one of the worst students you could ever imagine. And one day he wasn't acting the way I thought he should, and I really got on him. And then I walked out, and the school counselor called me over and said, "Well, do you know what he's dealing with?" I said, "Well, no, I'm really not sure." Well, he was in fact a crack baby. He was considered legally blind, and he was getting worse every year. Not only that, but his parents had threw him out. He had no place to go. The only thing that he lived for was Taekwondo. Finally, he ended up into the front top position, being a leader. His grades all improved, a totally new person. When we handed him the yellow belt, he received that belt with tears in his eyes. I knew that this was what I needed to be doing the rest of my life. And hopefully I'll be able to encourage others to do it too.